Hi, what's up, you guys? It's Shane, and welcome back to another video. Firstly, I want to apologize if I sound a little different. I'm pre-recording still, and I have a cold, and so my voice is just kind of like going through it. I'm going through it, but I thought I would work on it because I stayed home from work. And my brain is saying, you've got to be productive, and that's not always true. But today we are building a Victorian mansion. I was going to make it a spooky haunted build, and we are here in Forgotten Hollow. I believe that's what it's called. I was going to use some ponds and some terrain, and I spent so long on this, and I ended up just trashing all of it. Um, but I think it's important to show you guys not every idea is a winner. And I'm so bad at terrain paints because of the fact that like all the other worlds are so flat, so it's like hard to make it look good. I thought I would have like the water surrounding the house and stuff, but it just didn't go anywhere. Um, I have a couple pack limited builds coming out soon. But you can tell I really want to make these terrain paints work, and it's just not the move. Um, I think at one point I pop out to see how ridiculous it looks, and it's just not what I want. So I end up building in the dark, apparently. Initially this was going to be a haunted house. I ended up changing my mind because I couldn't do it. I wasn't feeling it. Thought it looked too ugly, but like, it's a haunted house. Um, I was looking at reference pictures from the movie It, chapter 1 and 2. If you've seen it, like the spooky house. So this ends up turning into we go in stages in this on this build because I don't know what I'm doing for half of it. Um, but I'm looking at the reference photo. So I fucking go through it. I did not know what I was doing. All I knew is I wanted it to look spooky and scary, like the house from It, and make a haunted house. But the roofing on this house took me so fucking long. And I know I'm cursing a lot, but whatever. I don't make kid videos for kids. My nieces aren't allowed to watch my videos. They don't know this exists. If they somehow find it one day, hi girls, why are you watching my videos? You're not allowed to watch these until you're 18, and you're allowed to say the word fuck. Um, but anyways, yeah, so I go in phases with this house. You'll watch me change the wallpaper like 12 times. Um, but what can I yap about while we watch this build together? Um, I have been reading a lot of romance books, which has been very fun and like nice to not think while I'm reading and not have to like follow super long things. Um, I have I use Audible a lot, which I'm not wild about because capitalism is awful. Um, but I've been using it for a while, and so now I just feel like loyal to it because I have a bunch of books on there. Um, but I found the series, it's called the Bergman Brothers, even though it's like brothers and sisters. And so it's like Bridgerton, where each book follows a different sibling and their path to love. And it's been fun to read. And they had it free on Audible for members, the first 5 books. So I've been just devouring those books for the last like 2 weeks. And oh, I love them so much, but I'm so mad. The last 2 books aren't free. I would have to buy them. And now I'm like, well, if I buy them, I want to buy the rest of them because I'll revisit these books. And I want to make sure that author gets their payday because they're really fun books and they have a lot of disability um like representation, like characters with disabilities. So you have like in the first book you have a character writer who is he got um some kind of disease that took out his hearing when he was like 18, and it just never came back. So he's partially deaf and he's still adjusting to it. And part of the story is him learning how to live again and not just be stuck in the my life is ruined, I can't hear anymore. And he falls in love with this girl who is she's like a soccer star, because they're sports romances. All of them are pretty much athletes except for two of the brothers, I think. Um and like they all play soccer at some point in their lives. But Willa, the love interest, she's like this soccer superstar, and but she's like dealing with like her mom is in the hospital dying of cancer, and it's just so sad. And it the book handles everything so well, and I loved it so much. And the next book you have um writer's brother, Ren, I think it's Sir Ren, is his actual name. He is a giant Shakespeare nerd. He is the big sweetheart, and his love interest is a woman, an autistic woman with rheumatoid arthritis. And I think they handle it so well because I think they never make her, she's different, but she's not broken, you know? And like that's a big thing with her is like she's differently abled, but she still does a lot and she's just living with it. And yeah, a lot of it is them learning to live with their diseases. And it's just so good. And the next book, you deal with a lot of anxiety and how anxiety can affect the body with Freya and Aiden. Aiden and Freya have been married for almost 10 years. They want a baby, but Aiden has a lot of anxiety about it, and it's affecting his body in crazy ways, and they're trying to save their marriage. Freya is the sister in this one, and then the next one is about Axel and Rooney, and Axel is the Bergman brother in this one, and he is just a sweet baby. He is autistic and he's a painter, and I love him so much. But as you can tell here, while I'm building, just to go back to the build really quick before I go back on my tangent about these books, you can tell here this is exactly when I decide to give on the spooky vibe, and I go for a more classic Victorian, so I can just, you know, relax on building it. This build took me 3 days to do because I just was struggling with what I wanted to do with it. But back to the book. Axel is autistic. Rooney has ulcerative colitis, which you don't know about until this book, even though she's been in the other books as Willa's best friend. And it's handled so nicely and like so well. And then the next book is it's an LGBT queer one. It's between the brother Oliver and another soccer player whose name is Gavin, and it's an enemies to lovers one, and it's just so cute. And this one, the disability is Gavin's body is breaking down because of how hard he's played soccer all of his life, which I think for a lot of professional athletes and just people who played sports growing up, that's something that they notice when they get older is their bodies aren't as strong as they used to be, and it's the process of aging. And Oliver has really bad anxiety. He has an anxiety disorder in it. And then the last two books, which I haven't read, are the younger sister Ziggy, who has a friends to lovers, and then the younger, not the youngest brother, but the second youngest brother after before Oliver is Vigo, who is this romantic nut who loves romance novels and everything else. And this one's another enemies to lovers, but roommates to lovers. And I really want to read those last two, but I'm not really ready to buy all the books, because if I'm going to buy 2 books, I'm going to buy the whole series so I have it all to re-listen to, because I would definitely revisit this series in the future. But I've been on a romance book kick. It's been wild. The other thing I wanted to address is I know like a couple videos that are coming out over the next couple weeks, and maybe some of my speed builds, the audio is all effed up. I it's making me debate on trashing the Let's Play because the fact that the audio was messed up in 3 of those episodes. And I don't want you guys to miss the details, but I do want to apologize for the audio issues in those videos if you watch them. I didn't notice it until I got into a Discord call with some friends. They're like, Shane, why does it sound like you're in a wind tunnel? What is going on? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's figure this out. And it turned out that like active listening on my mic was on, and so it was giving all this feedback. And I don't know. I might trash those videos. I may not trash the speed builds, but I may trash the Let's Play until further notice. Just because like I do a lot in those episodes. Like we kill Bella Goth. We do our dinner party for the Black Widow challenge and stuff. But yeah, so here you can see that. So I'm just debating on that. But back to the build. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this room and make it like a usable parlor space. I really wanted to put a bar in there so like you could have a drink, but it just didn't work out. So I turned it into a nice like sitting area with a piano and some bookshelves. But I think it turned out pretty cute. It definitely has that more Victorian feel with that dark wood and those couch cushions. Sorry, my throat is getting dry. Talking for 17 minutes is a lot, especially with a cold. So yeah, we're working on the rest of the house now, and it's just so cute. I like the dining room. I decided to put a fireplace in here because I did put 2 chimneys. And I end up not really placing them fireplaces near the chimneys, which is a little insane, but whatever. God, you can see me fussing with everything. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's fine. I just wanted to ensure that there was a fireplace in the house because, like, having those chimneys kind of insinuates that there is one. Pretty sure I leave the kitchen for last in this build. But what else can I yap about? You know, I'm getting ready to move as usual. I have to start packing over the next couple weeks, so I'm hoping to do that and still make speed builds, but we'll see how it goes. I have some job interviews coming up too, so that's stressful. I have rebranded all of my social media to be my first and last name. So if you want to follow me on Instagram or look at my website where I have my blog, it's Christiana Wegner. I will start putting links in the bio, either on this video or some of the other videos, where I talk about my writing more. And I will probably be talking about The Sims. But I just wanted to make everything kind of consistent. Because, you know, Shane the Spirit is a really good username, but, you know, it's hard to find things if I have Shane the Spirit and then I have where I'm Christiana Shane Wegner, and then I have C.L. Loftus for my writing. So I'm trying to merge all of them together under just the one name, which is scary for me because, you know, I like romance books, so I'm gonna have to be careful what I tell people about it. Or don't tell people, because like they might just get a pleasant surprise when they open up a book and be like, oh, they write slutty romance. Yeah, that's the other thing, is I get so mad when people look down on romance novels written by women and they're just like so crappy about it because they're like, that's not real literature. It's like, it's not meant to be literature. It could be like in time if it gets enough hype, but like, God, why can't you just read something for fun and let women have hobbies? Like, I have this big thing, like when people start hating on female stars and stuff, or like hating on female fantasy books, like Sarah J. Maas. Like, I don't love Sarah J. Maas's writing anymore. It was a good intro to fantasy for me, and I think it's a good intro to fantasy for a lot of people. But I have this thing where a lot of people hate it because there's smut in it. The smut in it doesn't get bad until book 4 or 5 or whatever, like one of the last books that have come out. And God forbid, if a man were to have written this book, the smut would have been sold as, well, it's plot necessary. No one would look down on the man for writing it. George R.R. Martin writes smut in his books all the time, but no one looks at it as smut because a man wrote it and it's angled towards men. Because it's a woman reading it and it's a woman facing audience, people look down on it. And I can't stand it. I'm like, just let people enjoy shit. Like, think about, like, I don't know, like Taylor Swift, for example, is a good example of something women enjoy, but people make fun of for women enjoying. Sabrina Carpenter is also getting that way too. And then, like, people get tired of seeing women in media. And so there becomes like a point of people getting mad at them and like nitpicking everything in media. And it's just like, yeah, there's such thing as overexposure, but no one harasses a man in the same way they harass a woman. Like, Chris Pratt, completely overexposed, a complete asshole. But like, you don't see people shit talking him in the same way that Taylor Swift is shit talked, you know? Like, and it's because women enjoy Taylor Swift. Chris Pratt is targeted towards men, you know? Like, I don't know. It's just so obnoxious to me that like women aren't allowed to enjoy things without people making fun of them. But this is like a whole tirade I have like every other week with people. Because like I talked to a friend at work about like romance novels and stuff, and they're not into it because they don't enjoy smut in their books. And that's a perfectly fine take. You can just say, like, I do not like my books heavily smutty or spicy or whatever word you want to use for it. That's fine. That is your personal choice. But do not shit on people for liking that, for enjoying reading. You know, it's a different part of your brain that is activated when you read it. It's not like you're watching adult entertainment online, you know? And that's what people keep comparing it to. But I'm like, there's other things that happen in these books for the most part. I have read a couple books where it is just thinly veiled smut with a very small plot, you know? But, you know, it's just like, let people live. If they enjoy it, they enjoy it. I'm just glad people are reading or at least listening to audiobooks and that it's becoming a bigger thing. Also, I don't go on book talk. I don't like the energy of book talk. Because if you're on there and there's men in there, they can be questionable. But here we are at the end of the build. We are going to jump into the build in just a sec, into the tour. Hi, sorry about the mess that was the end of it. I didn't realize the video was coming to the end, so I was panicking. I have to do the tour audio separately from the actual tour. As we can tell, I'm still fixing things. I'm always fixing things in these builds when I come in for the tour because I've had time to decompress. But we are now back in game looking at this Victorian build. I don't know why I'm so fixated on the front of the house. I think I'm talking about it, maybe? I don't know. I filmed this and then I went to edit and do the voiceover and stuff for the rest of the video, and then I just realized all my tour audio that I had filmed, not there. So I'm having to do this separately. So let's go ahead and hopefully we are about to go into the house so I can talk about that. Obviously we have the entryway, which I didn't do much in. I thought it was already a little too cramped, so I didn't want to do too much in there. Next to it, we have a nice parlor or sitting room with the piano and the bookshelves. And I know you can't really tell much. There's just a lot going on in this house, so having walls up or down. We have the kitchen, which I think turned out really cute. I love having an island like that with the sink in the middle. I think that's really cute. I didn't put a dishwasher in this house, but I assume that's fine. The dining room with the fireplace turned out really cute, I think. Put the walls up so you can see the wallpaper. And then next door we have the living room with the more modern amenities like the computer and the TV. I'm talking really fast compared to the video. And then the half bath, which also turned out pretty darn cute. And then upstairs we have the 2 nursery areas that you can use for whatever you want with the story you tell. You can change it, you can modify it, make it your own. If you don't want a toddler sleeping in a room with a bassinet, that's fine. I don't know what I was thinking. And then we have the 2 teen rooms, which I realized I didn't put anything on that other wall, which is insane, but I think they turned out really cute. You can, of course, adjust these for whatever story you're telling, as is the way of The Sims. And I'd love to know what kind of stories you would tell in this house. But it should be up on the gallery too. If it's not, I'll make sure it goes up there. But then we have the kids' bath and then the main suite bath, which I don't know about you guys. I feel weird about saying master bedroom anymore. It just doesn't feel right to me. So I tend to say I'm trying to switch to main or ensuite instead of master. So here we have the ensuite bath where I used a lot of sleek bathroom stuff from that kit because I'm obsessed with it. I managed to use these panels from the Eco Living thing because I really wanted to use them, and it actually inspired a later build getting to use them. As you can tell, I'm constantly fixing things in this build. I'm not a perfect builder, and that's fine. That's okay. I've accepted that within myself as a person. But we are getting to the end of the video, so I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you want to see. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. It does help the channel. It encourages me that, hey, this isn't a waste of time. People are enjoying it. Even though I'm just doing this for fun, it does feel nice to know that I'm not just screaming into the void. But yeah, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!